Hello, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is a place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Monday, so we're here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. I'm here with my friend and co host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Tara Lena from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. So, today we're going to have our conversation where you just sit back, relax, hydrate. I've got my water, I've got my orange juice. We're ready to get this party started. How you doing today, Fran? Can we give a shout out to everybody on Clubhouse? And
Yay! Hi,
yes,
everybody over on Clubhouse and the people who are watching live on the bizchicks.live, and all of you who will be tuning in via the replay. I want to thank you all for being here today. And we're going to have a really, really good conversation. Whew! I don't know, Terry, it's going to be a doozy just because of the nature of it and what we have been programmed, I guess I could say,
mm-hmm.
the programming that we have acquired in United States Western business.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So our conversation today is why not multitask? You know, why shouldn't we multitask? Why not just multitask? You can get a lot more done if you kill, what do they say, kill two birds with one stone. We can
Mm-hmm.
we can we can get, you know, I can be doing this and this. Have you ever seen that I'm gonna see if I can find that visual of the guy who's playing the piano, beating the drums, hitting the cymbals,
Oh, the
one man band, and he just getting it. I saw this image a while back, getting it all done. Just,
Mm-hmm.
we can just do it all. But can we really do it all? We try.
Mm-hmm.
We, so let's just multitask. Let's just try get everything done in one day, one time. Can I slam it all together?
Well,
Well, that may not be a good idea. Um, and I don't know why would this not be a good idea. Is okay, let's ask the question for those who are watching live and on the replay. Is multitasking a good idea? And do you do it? Do you multitask? That's the question on the table right at this. Why do you multitask? Is that something you do? And we're asking that question. Do you multitask?
you, you know what, Francine? I thought I was multitasking because I would turn the washer on, have the dishwasher going, um, things that I didn't have to attend to while I went about doing something else. Now, do we consider that multitasking? I don't know.
I don't think that's multitasking because you're not doing each of those things,
You mean I'm
right?
not watching over it, tending to it,
Uh,
focusing on it?
no, because because a lot of people
Morning,
think
Karen.
a lot of people think a computer multitasks. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. The computer just does one process at a time, but really, really fast. The
Okay.
computer doesn't even multitask.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
go ahead.
and that's why it can freeze because we're asking to do too many things at one time. It's like,
Okay.
whoa, wait a minute. I'm
I'm
still
trying to
processing
figure
your
out the
first
last thing
request.
you just asked me to do.
Exactly. Oh, okay.
So, do we multitask?
I looked up the definition.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay, so it says here multitasking, the performance of more than one task at the same time. At the same time.
Oh,
Parenting skills such as multitasking and concentrating and distractions are easily transferable to the workplace. So, in other words, whatever you're doing at home, you're probably going to be doing in your business or on the job. And then the second definition says the execution by a computer of more than one program or task simultaneously. Multitasking does not slow down the smartphone at any point. Hmm.
well, because we put that in there like multitasking is a thing. And
Mhm.
we want it to be a thing because we can get so much done.
Well,
You
we were convinced that we could do it. Good morning, Pat. How you doing this morning? We got
know,
Pat and Coach Karen in here, and
hey,
and Coach Karen says the brain doesn't like it. I'm feeling you, Coach.
it really, really doesn't. And we got some little points. I was watching a YouTube video of this young lady, and she was explaining how she was multitasking and the effects that it was having on her, her business, her relationships, and things of that nature. And we can put the link to that video in the chat afterwards,
Mhm.
Terry.
Yeah. Okay.
But can you really effectively multitask? And do you do it, or do you just think we're doing it?
I don't know. Coach Karen says, "What a lie! We can't do it."
And a lot of people don't want to hear that. They
Mm-mm.
they don't want to. They don't want to know that they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really interesting. I'm trying to see if I was going to pull up an image of multitask because we think we can do it. We think we can do it all.
Morning, Yolanda. Thank you for joining us.
We think we can just do it all. But can we really? Oh, wait, can we do it all at the same time?
There you go. There
Based
you
on
go.
what you just said, can we do it all at the same time?
Well, the study from Stanford showed that it has a negative effect on our mood, on our motivation, and on our productivity. When we're trying, think about it. If you're trying, let's just take a simple example. You're trying to cook breakfast and you're juggling at the same time. You're juggling oranges at the same time. That's not going to go well.
No, because
Something's going to drop. Okay.
right, right. Something is going to drop.
You're gonna drop the ball somewhere, and
Right.
and so this is one of the effects of trying to multitask at the same time, and I don't know if it comes from. I can remember. I can remember rocking the baby with one foot and trying to do something at the same time, like fold towels and do something. And I'd be sitting there, you know what I'm saying? And the foot would be going, and I'd be doing something else. It didn't often go well.
No. So we're going to talk about that today.
I love this image of this guy. You want to
It's out there.
narrate it for the people on Clubhouse?
Yeah, so we got an image up of a guy. He's on one phone, got another cell phone to his ear. He's writing a report or something, and he's holding a clock and his coffee and trying to do it all at the same time. And we've all attempted to do that. We have been programmed to think that it's okay to multitask. And if we are not multitasking, something is wrong with you because you're not trying to do it all at one time.
Mm. Well, someone on Facebook has this comment. It says, your brain doesn't like it. According to Jim Quick, it takes over 20 minutes to refocus when you get distracted by multitasking.
You don't do either effectively. Exactly. It does. How you're working on a project, somebody interrupts you, and now you got to figure out where you were in that project. So there are a lot of times people will take a phone call. They're in a work mode. They're in a flow. phone call comes in, they stop to take the phone call. Now that phone call is now directing your attention to whatever that person is saying. If you are engaged with whatever they're doing, you're over on that page with that person and you're trying to talk to them, but you still can't be writing over here trying to write the report and talk to that person at the same time. That's two different conversations. Yes, I said two conversations, because the report you are writing is a conversation, and you talking to this person on the phone is also a conversation. You can't have two conversations at one time and then give any true meaning or put any purpose into either one of them. So we have the situation where you're trying to multitask. You've always heard somebody, yeah, go ahead, I'm listening. No, you're not listening. You can't listen to two people at one time, because you're going to forget some information that other person has said, and it could be something vital like add pepper, and then you didn't even hear that part of the rest because you're so busy trying to do both sides of the conversation. You missed an ingredient, you missed a sentence, you missed something that was vital. Oh, I was supposed to turn left. You missed it because you can't concentrate on it.
Or something as simple as wait until the red light flashes before you press the go button. Now we're all in a crisis because you didn't wait for it to flash, or when it started flashing, you thought that was incorrect and you didn't press anything.
Because we didn't get the right instructions.
We missed that piece that was vital to the success of the operation.
Right. So from what I learned listening to the young lady, and she's 25 years old, and so she learned something about multitasking. The first thing, and she did a little bit of research on it, and she understood what was happening. It's hard for the brain to focus on any one task. That is what Coach Karen says. Your brain doesn't like it. The brain is like, I can't do this. I can't be over here and over here. It's just like the computer. The computer cannot do two operations at one time. We think it can. And we have processors that are so fast right now, we think that the computer is doing all of this at the same time. No, it is doing each thing at one time or another, but it seems like it's happening all at the same time because the computer is processing it so fast. It's like, have you seen the movie The Flash, where he's going over here and he went and did this and and we're thinking all this stuff happened at the same time, but it didn't. It was just, he's so fast, he can get something done and finished very quickly. Well, that's the same way with the computer. Not so with our brains.
No, we can't switch that fast, especially sometimes when you're communicating. You have to actually code switch for different conversations. So,
which means you have to stop and engage with I'm dissecting or defining code switch. You have to stop what you're doing to go pay attention. Mommy, the backyard's on fire. And you're so busy talking over here that you didn't hear backyard on fire. Okay, Billy, I'll get to it in a minute. Mommy, the backyard's on fire. Billy, I said, I'll get to it in a minute. And Billy's like, look.
We're in crisis over here.
The blaze is getting close to the house. But because we're so not focused, we don't hear well, we miss information.
Now,
so go ahead.
I think we have different definitions of code switch. When I say code switch, I'm saying I may have to talk to this community with this
language,
and that community with a different language in order for them to understand. And so it's like almost switching foreign languages.
Right. So you're in a new neighborhood. You got to talk like the people
That's
in that
in
neighborhood.
that community, and I'm in this community. I speak with this cultural language, and I'm over here. I speak. You understand what I'm saying? So
And that is,
I have a different communication with Billy than I have um with the VP of a major corporation.
and that's why you have a different, that's why you don't do all your social media the same way. You talk
Mm-hmm.
to people on YouTube a certain way. You talk to the people on Twitter a certain way. You talk to the people on Facebook a certain way. Even though the message is the same message, the way that it is delivered is very crucial.
Yes. Now we
In other
got a
words,
couple of comments over here, including Mark Ward is in the house with jokes. Let's see here. Karen says, um, I was in an interview and I told the guy I do not multitask, but what I do is be very careful in everything I do. He
it's very
said that.
clear in everything he does and she does. Yes.
Mhm. He said that is the sentence that got me the job. Okay.
Right.
Hmm.
Because we have
Focus. Yeah.
really, it's like, oh my gosh.
She pays attention to detail.
But you can't pay, and you will not be able to pay attention to details if you're trying to pay attention to all of the details at the same time.
Mhm.
That is just a recipe for disaster. So the first point that I from the video that I learned over the weekend is it's hard for the brain to focus on any one task,
Mhm.
which is what Karen and everyone else was talking about.
However, before you go there, Mark said that Billy is a drama queen. So, because the backyard's on fire.
Okay, Mark. And then the second thing is the why not multitask? Because the inability to concentrate
Mm.
is increased. You lose more. You'll lose concentration
Mhm.
as you continue. Your ability to concentrate is decreased.
Well, of
You
course,
understand?
because your attention's divided.
Right.
It's like trying to be in a different room, in two rooms at one time. Make sense?
No, that's the whole point. It doesn't make sense. You can't even get your brain won't let you go there. It's like pick a room,
Mhm. Exactly.
pick a conversation, pick a task, pick one.
What are we really talking about? Hmm.
Pick one. Because then you want to know. Then we got the civil thing going on. No, I think I want to do this. Well, no, I think we should go here. And then you're back and forth and forth and back, and it's not good for the brain. So the third thing, my third point on here, when the mind is divided, mistakes will multiply.
Hmm.
When the mind is divided, your mistakes will multiply. Oh, I forgot to push the button.
What does the red flashing light mean? Is that a go or a no?
Because you missed some information, you're going to make a mistake somewhere, and that could cost you your job. It could cost something else, but it's not good. Point number 4: every task.
She likes that, friend. The fact that you're going to miss something crucial.
Mhm,
Hmm.
every task deserves our full attention. Isn't that right? Okay, when you go in the store and or the bank or somebody and the person waiting on you, don't you want them to give you their full attention? Or do you want them talking to the person behind you at the other table?
That is the worst.
And you know they're not going to get your situation right because they're not listening to you. It happened in the hospital. I think my mother-in-law was going to get some work done or whatever. And one lady, she was very, very attentive, right? And she was like, okay, so we're going to be looking at your right eye, the right eye, circling it. So everybody knew what eye we're supposed to be working on because there are two. And she was asking her about the medication. Now, did you take this medication this morning? And very precise information. I'm sitting in the room. right? Because I'm just observing. And so I said, I like her because she's really, really detailed and
Mm-hmm.
asking pertinent questions. The other lady came in. So we're going to do the right eye, and so it said you haven't taken your medication yet, and I was like, whoa, 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 slow down. She already took the medication. But the other girl was so fast trying to get to wherever she was going, she wasn't paying attention. I was like, okay, I'm gonna really have to watch her because she's not
Focus.
staying focused. She's flighty. She is everywhere. And I was like, okay, I need to keep an eye on you because that's where mistakes are made.
And they could be major.
Oh, like leaving the sponge inside of somebody in surgery
Yes.
because they were distracted. When the mind is divided, mistakes multiply.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anybody on the clubhouse got something to say or want to add to before I move on to our next point?
I'll just. Oh, go ahead, Beverly. That was a wonderful analogy, and good morning, ladies. Thank you for.
Good morning.
I wanted to say that was a perfect analogy, and I hate that. And it's just that my things are kind of bubbled around in here today, so I said, let me hop on and get some gems.
We'll be glad to have you. Thank you.
Welcome to the conversation.
All right, Dryer Buzz and Bhumika. Hi. Go ahead, Dryer Buzz. You were going to say something.
Well, I just learned that, even though we have to be mindful of a bunch of stuff at the same time, it still works best if we could just slow down and do one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I know it feels like we need to have 16 arms. You got to be stirring the pot. You got to be making this, that, and the other. And just worried about, we have so much angst about what's to come and what have we just done. I just wish that we could have more time to focus. And I asked a group of men about multitasking, and they literally have just said it's not something that they could do. And so they don't even try. We know how we have these expectations of them. Can't you do this and that? And the answer is always no.
No.
They can't do it. But we as women naturally can divide our attention, equally to things. But as far as things that require our action and things for us to be hands-on, we can't do it. And it doesn't come out right, and it doesn't come out the best. And I just wish we just stop and do one thing, and we'll be happier.
Right. I agree. And we're going to talk about in the next little bit here, there are tools that can help us focus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There are tools that will help us focus because like Dryer Buzz said, you might have 16 things to do, but you don't do all 16 things at the same time. But you are aware that they have to be done. And so so number point 4 was every task deserves our full attention.
Mm-hmm.
Point number 5, multitasking affects our short and long-term memories. We don't want to hear that. You know why?
Do not.
Because we are practicing short-circuiting our short and long-term memories because we keep practicing it. Practice means you do something every day. You get into a habit of doing something. And when you're in that habit, so the mind is like, okay, well, she's really not all in on this anyway. So let me go over here and chase this squirrel because we programmed our minds to be divided. It's not what we're supposed to do, but we program to be divided and not finish a task or not get something done. Or what was I doing? Oh, I wonder where I left the keys in the freezer because we doing too much. Is that what the kids say? Y'all doing
too much. That's exactly what they said.
Because you try to have it all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Doing the most. Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't be doing the most. We shouldn't be doing it all at the same time. And we need to pick and choose. The stuff is going to get done, and it'll probably get done a lot better if we pick one thing, finish it. I have been changing my practice. If I'm on a phone call with a client, I'm staying with that client throughout the entire conversation, get everything I need done for them, write down their whatever it is that they need. And I have a little book, write it down, figure out what they need, and be all in on that client before I pick up the call on another client. Even though the other client is probably have an urgent matter or something, I can't give them that attention, or I shouldn't be giving them the attention that belongs to somebody else.
Well, now we have a comment over here on Facebook. Good morning, everyone. My son and I had this discussion, quote, argument recently. I said, I can't multitask. Focus on what you need to do and get it done so you don't have to do it over again. He disagrees and tried to prove me wrong. Well, I'm a summer school mom for the first time.
That means he had to come back and do some work.
Yeah, to come get it together. Then Coach Karen says slowing down gets anything and everything done faster.
I like that. Slowing down gets it done faster.
It really does. Because for one thing, you don't have to do it twice. And you don't have to revisit it mentally.
No,
again.
And you don't miss details because you're like, oh, okay. How many times have you had to reread a book because you were thinking about something else when you're reading the book? I done read that chapter 5 times and still don't know what it says. I was like, okay, I need to put this book down until I can focus on it. You may have to let some things go. I was taking some classes. I was like, I'm gonna have to let these classes go because I can't focus on what I need to focus on. And I don't want to be like the guy in this picture with all of these things going on at the same time. And I can't be successful at any one of them because I'm trying to do all of them at the same time.
Listen, I can remember when my kids were toddlers, Francine. I was teaching school. I was substitute teaching. I was going to graduate school, and I was raising 2 kids under the age of 3. I was running a ministry and running a food bank through the ministry. So all these things were going on, and I was trying to substitute teach. And every morning they would call you, and you go to a different school. Okay, and then sometimes you'd be at the same school 3-4 days in a row. And it got where I would leave my books for class at the last school. I mean, I was forgetting little things because I had so many things on my mind. It's not healthy, people. And you won't be successful at it. At some point, your brain is going to make you slow down.
It's going to just shut down and say, I'm done. I'm not doing
you know, what do you really want? It's going to ask you.
I can't do, and it will tell you, I can't do this. And your brain will just shut down. And people think mental breakdowns are something that is rare.
Sometimes it's self-imposed.
Right, there you go. Because it's overtaxing the brain. And it's just like, go ahead.
Well, it's the same thing with our phone. We ask it to do too many things. Sometimes it'll freeze up on you. And you have to actually shut it down, turn it back on, or your computer, shut it down and reboot it.
Right. And stop opening. How many people? There are some people I know got 20-something windows open on their computer. You can't think about all of them windows at the same time. Oh, I need to go and do that. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to create something on Canva. Oh, I need to do this on YouTube. And you got 20 windows open and close the ones you're not using because it is a distraction to have all those windows open and to have all those thoughts going in 20 different directions. Number 5, multitasking affects our short and long-term memories. 6, anxiety is a side effect of multitasking because like, oh my God, I didn't get that done. Okay, like what Dryer Buzz said, get one thing done and be okay with it and be cool. I'm like, yes, okay, I can check that off the list. Now I'll put the other thing on the list. and get it done to completion.
Remember, we had this discussion on a previous program about what is success? What is your success for today? What's the one thing, your one priority that you're going to get done today? And if you get that done, then you can check the day off as having been successful.
And you get to
Focus.
celebrate.
Mhm.
What is that one thing you get to and do what Karen calls a happy dance? You get that one thing checked off your list. Woohoo! I'm good. And if nothing else got done on that list, I got that thing done.
That's right. And everything else is gravy.
Right.
You know?
And then you pick another thing tomorrow that you're going to be successful at and get it off the list. And enjoy the accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we don't enjoy the accomplishment.
No, we don't take time to celebrate
because we can't remember what we did to celebrate. Did we wait? Did I get that done? Which one of these things? Okay, because it's all rumbling together. You didn't get a chance to enjoy the celebration.
Mm-hmm. So do you really feel like you had success that day? I know this isn't on the list, but did you know that multitasking can cause you to overeat?
No.
Mm-hmm. It says being distracted during mealtime, like the phone at the table, can prevent your brain from fully processing what you've eaten. According to a study from 2013, they reviewed 24 and previous studies. Because of that, you don't feel as full and may be tempted to keep eating. And you eat again a short time later. Experts recommend that even people who eat alone should refrain from turning on the television while eating, and to truly pay attention to their food. Eating lunch at your computer? Slow down. Take a break from the screen to focus on each bite, so that now your brain is processing the fact that you have eaten. And you're full. Acknowledge being full.
I like that. I can remember recently where I was eating and somebody called and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna take this call."
Mm-hmm.
I could not process my food very well because I'm engaged in this call and I'm not enjoying my food.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I know I ate something, but I don't remember what I remember what I ate, but it doesn't feel like I got satisfied because I took a call and I knew what the kind of call it was going to be because I saw the caller ID. I'm like, okay, this is going to be this. I need to take this now.
Mm-hmm.
I need to handle it now. Well, I could have let the call wait. Enjoy my lunch, and then be prepared to take the call and do what I needed to do. I have since, like, if I'm eating lunch, I'm not taking calls while I'm eating my lunch. I'm not. I got to work on and not watching TV because I'll have my iPad out. But I'm not taking calls and having hard conversations with people while I'm eating. Mm-hmm. Not doing that. Anybody else want to comment from the clubhouse? We got Rashonda, Dryerbuzz, and Beverly over here. Anybody want to weigh in? Beverly.
Did you have time to go over 1 through 6 again? Because I was trying to write them down.
I sure will go over them. You ready? Number 1, it's hard for the brain. Why not multitask? 1, it's hard for the brain to focus on any one task. 2, the inability to concentrate is increased. 3, when the mind is divided, mistakes multiply. 4, for every task deserves our full attention. 5, multitasking affects our short and long-term memories. 6, anxiety is a side effect. And then 7, Terry said it causes you to overeat.
Yes.
Ooh, that is not
I
good.
know. When I read that, I was like, oh, really? Oh my gosh.
I'm like, okay, so
and it makes sense because you don't pay attention.
Okay, so 7 is it causes you to overeat. Then 8 is it hinders creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fixing my notes here.
Ooh, I'm just getting my feelings hurt today.
I feel you. When I read that, I was just like, wow.
Like, I'm driving myself crazy.
And it is. We are driving our own self. The other people ain't doing this to us. We do this
to ourselves.
Yes.
The kids there, okay?
I was like, oh snap. And then okay, so at 7, 8, number 9, it is a complete waste of time. Just like Coach Karen said a little while back, she said you can get stuff done a lot faster if you just slow down. And I know that's counterintuitive, but slowing down makes you go faster. So those are the 9 points that we learned from.
We've got some comments over here I want to get to before we start giving solutions.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, because I have to do the tool. Go ahead.
Okay. So Mark says, documenting goals and successes is imperative. If we don't do it, and often fake
stories
of who you are will circumvent the truth. Not knowing who you are is often the greater obstacle.
Right. So Mark is go back to Mark's comment, please.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It says documenting goals and successes is imperative. So you know how they've been telling you, oh girl, journal it. And sometimes we think the little journal is foo-foo and like, oh, I don't need to write all that down.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Karen can jump in here and talk about journaling. But you need to write down your wins and your successes. Because Mark says if you don't do it, the often fake story of who you are will circumvent the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Where you are doing some things that are outstanding and your voice is being heard, but you don't even remember it because you never wrote it down.
Wow.
We don't celebrate it. We don't take time. Oh, I can't do that right now. I can't write that down. Well, that should be one of the things that we do each day is take time to write our victories. A book of victories. You can get you a book. What is it called?
Composition book.
Composition book from the Dollar Tree. Mark it book of victories and write down every time you have a win, because we need to do that. And stop and do that. Make that one of your one things that you do during the day. Karen had a comment.
Yes. And before we go to her comment, she has another comment down here. She's telling Mark, yes, Mark. Okay. So here's her comment.
Here's something I found out about 10 years ago. This is Coach Karen talking. If you make a list of all that you have to do and put names on each task, you will see how much of you give up unwillingly.
Mm.
Let me read that again. Okay. If you make a list of all that you have to do and put names on each task, you will see how much of you give up unwilling. I'm saying this because my Christmas list goes on the fridge for cleaning and allows my kids at the same time to choose what they will do. Okay, Karen, or if you're available to come into the clubhouse, because I want you to expound on that. Coach Karen got some really unorthodox ways of getting stuff done and still going on trips and doing stuff that she does, but still makes money. And she's not all over the place and her mind ain't crazy. So you can jump in on the clubhouse, Karen, so we can hear you and you can talk about that. Especially if you did it 10 years ago and it's still working. Any other comments, Terry?
Oh, yeah. She says here, I felt such relief and realized how much it was taking on me.
Here she's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Karen. All right. Tell us what you meant by that.
Okay. I was saying about 10 years ago, I just realized that when you put a name to the task that you have to do, you realize how much people it takes to get those tasks done. And so you're overextending yourself in doing all of those tasks on that day when it's unnecessary, when you didn't have to. And what happens, you get overloaded in the brain, you're overwhelmed, and it just shows up in so many areas of your lives, whether you're driving, feeling nervous, or as Terry was talking about, the overeating, and all these things happen. But if you, and there's the other part, if you were given those tasks to 10 people, you will feel so bad in giving them so many things to do. So why aren't you not feeling bad for yourself? People, start feeling bad for yourself too when you're overcrowding yourself. And it's that overcrowding that causes you wanting to multitask, because you're thinking, if I multitask, I'm going to get it all done. Why? No, don't try to get it all done if it's not supposed to get done today. I think the big question to ask is, do I need to get this all done today? And as you say, Fran, you celebrate the thing that you want to get done. For me, it's the three things. Those three things are so important that they get done. Exercise, eat right. I know I'm going to tell you this other one, and do some prayer. It has nothing to do with work. Nothing to do with work. Because when I am fully worked out, when I had a real great breakfast, and I meditate and I pray, now anything that I want to do will be accomplished. And it better be a good thing that I want to be able to dance, because you guys know I love to dance. So those are the three things that has to get done. When they're done, when the morning self-care is done, then anything else can get done.
So you know what, Fran? I need to start counting those things as successes, because they're such a part of my routine that I didn't look at them as achievements, when in fact they truly are. Because if I don't exercise, I won't be able to enjoy any of the rest of it. If I don't pray, I won't have direction, but I took them for granted as opposed to successes.
I like what Coach Karen was saying about assigning the task to, like, you assign those tasks to other people to do. And would you expect them to get them all done in the same
time period that you allot?
But we do it to ourselves.
Wasn't that something?
And we expect, I expect Mildred and Julie and everybody, I need all of y'all to get all that done and bring it back to me at the end of the day. We wouldn't do that to anybody else, because it's unreasonable. But for some reason, we think it's reasonable for us to do it.
Wow.
What's the one thing that you're going to get done for the day? After, I like Karen's three things that she has to do for herself. And if you don't make exercise one of them things to get done, you need to make sure that happens. That self-care is so important. So I did my 3-mile walk today. I do not talk to people prior to 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not talking to people, because if I do and I start talking to people, I'm not going to get my stuff done. It's not going to happen. So I know I had to revamp my schedule. I got to walk. Get out there, get my 3 miles in. I don't care where I walk. Now, I'm not multitasking, but I can listen to a podcast while I'm walking. I can listen to a book while I'm walking. So I'm getting something done while I'm walking, but it's not circumventing the other thing getting done. So, Dr. Tachi, did you want to weigh in? We are talking about why not multitask, and we're going to offer some tips as well, some tools that you can use. Coach Karen just gave us a really good tip on doing the top 3 self-care things for you. And then I'm saying you do the one business related thing. There's one thing that has to get done today. What's that one thing that you need to get done today? If you do that one thing, everything else is going to be gravy. You can celebrate, you can enjoy. And what is that one thing? Everybody has their one thing. I know what mine is. Dr. Tachi.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, good morning, everyone. I'm watching and listening on Facebook, and I was a little behind. So, I'm like, kind of, what was the question? I just heard my name. I was like, oh, man. What was the question?
Did you want to weigh in on anything? Because we're talking about why not multitask. And Karen was talking about her 3 things that she does to self-care. before she even starts doing stuff for other people. We had 9 points that we brought out today. Why you should not multitask, because it's been ingrained in us like we should just be doing it all, and we should do it all at the same time. Yeah.
Multitask is a myth. You cannot multitask. You can have several things open, like you were talking about the several tabs open, but you can't work on all of them at the same time. To truly multitask would mean that you would have the ability to work on multiple things at the same time, and that's simply not possible. What happens when you quote multitask is that you have several things you're working on, you stop one, and then you start something else. Then you stop that thing and you start something else. So you're not truly multitasking because you're not working on all of them at the same time. So then, what I like to call Facebook is a perfect example of this. Faster, money none. Because they have 10 million tabs open, 10 million apps and things that they're working on, but none of them is particularly good. So you have to use that as a metaphor for you. That doesn't mean what you will produce won't be good, but will it be as good as if you had sat down and concentrated and made that your top priority, and then when that is finished, go on to something else? Or even if you're the type of person that can work on maybe 2 things, not truly simultaneously, but flip-flop between those 2 things. If you limit the amount of things you work on, it will be so much better. And then just put them in a list. For me, this works. I am a list maker. I always tell everyone that, when they talk about vision boards, I think vision boards are great, but I know how I am. Just like in college, when you would have an assignment to journal, I wouldn't do it. I would wait until the last week and then do all my entries, because that's not me. I am not.
It's not me either.
No, I'm like, journal, what the hell is this? I'm not journaling anything. I'll do it the last week. And that's what I did. And I'm not a big procrastinator, but with that I do. Because it's not something I normally do. So I make a list of things. And then it is satisfying for me to be just like my ASMR, to be able to cross off a task off the list. That means there's still other things that need to be done. I didn't do everything simultaneously, and I'm okay with that. So that's what I have to say about the multitasking myth.
Thank you. And it is a myth. So now we're going to talk about solutions. Dr. Tachi just gave you a solution. Coach Karen gave a solution to it. Go ahead, Terry.
We have some comments over here, and before we get to the solution, then we're going to go straight to the solutions, okay? Okay. Mark says, and you can only accurately document your wins if you have clear goals and objectives.
Oh, yeah, because if you don't know what a win was.
Exactly. You don't know if you're winning or not if you don't know what the game is about, okay? Right. And then write down your self-care. That is a win. I believe we're talking to Robin over there. And then let's see. She says, Coach Karen is great. Mark Ward says here, my daily blog pieces always end with 2 questions, one of which is success or sabotage. Everything that we do is a step toward one or the other. The only way you can be certain is to know your intention about what it is that you wish to create today. How is success defined for you today?
Wow.
I know. Actually, preparing a healthy breakfast for myself is a win. Eating uninterrupted is still a challenge. I feel you. I got that TV going all the time. I'm going to stop that. Excuse me. Mark says, I always tell clients to break down their to-do list with priorities. Must be done today, or the world will end. And stretch goals. Attack the priority for which you have the most resistance first. Completing it will provide you with energy and momentum to do the rest. Yes, eat the frog first. Okay, Fran, let's talk about how we can get this done.
All right. So, there's an app for everything. Android, Apple, paper, Franklin Covey, whatever. Everybody, there's an app or a program or a system. You got to find the one that works with you. You're probably already doing the system that works for you. If a yellow pad and a list work for you, get the yellow pad and the list and go for it. In the YouTube video that I got this idea from on multitasking, the young lady uses an app called Notion. I happen to like the goals wizard that I got on from Brian Tracy. It's called Goals Wizard, and so I use that and a piece of paper, or actually a whiteboard. My little whiteboard here I got from Staples, and it has it's a dry erase board, a little small one that the kids would use for doing their handwriting and stuff like that. And I can write down my today and then erase them off or mark them through or whatever. But find whatever works for you. If it's a composition book, I do like the idea of writing a master to-do list so that I can get stuff out of my brain, the stuff that I need to get done, and then go through the list and move things to my today off that master to-do list. What am I going to do? Oh yeah, I need to get that done. Put that on the list, get that done, and move it. I don't put all 23 items from the master to-do list on my today list. I have a to-do list. I have a today list. I also like the doing, and done process where you divide up 3 sections, things to do, what you are doing, because sometimes things are going to progress from one day to the next because you may not be able to complete the project in one day, and then done, where you can see that it got done. So whatever it is that you feel like you should be doing, what does a tool, a good success tool, look like for you? We're all wired differently. Like Dr. Tachi said, I don't do journals. Some people do journals. Whatever works for you, we're just telling you to pick a tool and use it. Pick up the hammer, pick up a shovel, an axe, or whatever, and find your tool and put it into play. So does anybody want to weigh in on what they use for a tool to help them accomplish their tasks? And we're talking about tasks today. Anybody?
Yes.
Go ahead, Beverly.
I was going to add that, and I love what Dr. Tachi said about multitasking being a myth, because in raising 5 children, and they're all adult now, my life was pretty much centered around just being overworked, because going to school, you're raising children, you're advocating for people in the community and what have you. And so I began to, when everyone was out on their own and I was by myself, and I'm like, it seems like I got more done when I had more on my plate. And just resisting rescue and resting, because resisting the urge to do it all and do what's important to you. As Black women, we're expected to come to the rescue of any and everybody, and just rescuing yourself and the things that are important to you and your business and in your life, and getting rest, because without rest, you can't really focus on the task at hand. So I had to just rearrange my life and be very intentional about the things that I was going to do. So I'm so grateful for this today, because I needed this for myself to get back on task.
Thank you, Beverly. We appreciate you sharing that. Rescue and rest.
And resisting the urge to be everything
to everybody.
Okay, Beverly. Here are some Biz Chicks quotes. Everything is not for you to fix, and no is a complete sentence. That's it. It'll help a lot.
And she did, and I like where she said, we don't have to rescue everybody. Take off the cape, people. Take off the cape.
Everything is not for you to fix. It's okay. Give yourself permission.
Wow. Anybody else want to weigh in on what solutions are you using, or what is worked for you? Karen,
me,
go ahead, Karen.
yeah, for me, it's I got like three clusters, which is self-care first thing, which is the journaling, the prayer, meditation, that sort of stuff, exercise, and that package. And then I got a study section, and then I have my work section. So I got like three clusters that I focus on and get going. And those are my must. And so I pick things out of there daily and get those done. And I believe in the no, and it really doesn't matter who it is. I say no with my husband or anybody. I simply just say no, and sometimes there's no explanation, and sometimes I might give them one, but I just don't. And then I got two things in the afternoon that's just for me, and maybe me and my granddaughter, or me and some family member, something fun that we do, so that I'm keeping that,
balance.
That's how I see, to round off my day. So that's how I do mine. And I'm a lister. As much as I do everything else, I am a lister. I like to see in front of me what's going on for my day. So that's my Google Calendar, and sometimes written too in front of me. So because I do love the cross off idea. So my list is there. And the other thing is, I don't push myself when I know that I've accomplished a lot. I don't feel like I need to fill up empty spaces. I'm 57, so I'm like, I've done a lot of work for a lot of long years, so there's nothing to fill in. So when people give me things to do or a lot of things for me to do, I stare them deep in the eyes and I just simply say, no, it's not getting done. Like, that's a skill I think we all need to really, if you don't have it already, acquire. Look people dead in the eye and just tell them no. And don't give them an explanation, like practice it often until you get really good at it and you don't feel no way.
Yes, excellent. No is a complete sentence. And people are going, what do you mean no? No. My kids do that. Do you want to go to the mall? No. They give me no explanation as why they don't want to go to the mall and how, they don't offer that. They just didn't want to go to the mall. For some reason, I felt like I had to explain why I told somebody no about something. I was like, oh, I will not do that anymore. No. Well,
it's okay. It's okay.
It just means I don't know. So that's part of the resist and the rest and be okay with saying no, because you know what, you can take a nap and get the rest during the day. Do things that's going to help you be productive. And we put off, we want to take a nap, but then we have the phone turned on.
I so agree that topic. A friend of mine, her mom had them early, 5 of them, and she had retired at 37 or 47, somewhere around there. She had retired really early, and she didn't have a job per se. She raised 5 kids. That was her job, and she decided she was going to retire early. And everybody said to her, "You can't retire." And she says, "Well, why not?" And she wouldn't take on anything that you gave her to do. She was an artist, and she just painted. Like, she didn't do anything other than once she raised her 5 kids and she was done. She was done. You couldn't get her to do anything. And I admired her, for standing to her ground and saying, hey, I retired early. And yes, I've got some grandkids, but I'm not taking anything on. I'm not doing anything that I don't want to do to fill up my day because somebody decided my days should be filled.
Wow.
Exactly, because you can become someone's attaché without even realizing it. They're just, their reservoir, sort of like the ATM of mom. All of a sudden, you have to be diligent over your time as well as your money and your business. We do have one more comment from Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
He's saying here,
one of the other things that is important is once you have your goals for the day prioritized, that you do not move to the second item on the list until you have completed the first. You don't do the third until the second is completed, etc. This way, you don't end up at the end of the day with a list of half-done things that enable you to consider yourself a failure. Well stated, Mark. Well stated. So to recap, why not multitask? One, it's
Mhm.
hard for the brain to focus on any one task. Two, the inability to concentrate is increased. Three, when the mind is divided, mistakes multiply. Four, every task deserves our full attention. Five, multitasking
Mhm.
affects our short and long-term memories. Six, anxiety is a side effect. Seven, it causes you to overeat. Thank you, Terry. You always bring us some stuff. Eight, it hinders creativity. And nine, it is a waste of time. And the solutions would be find your productivity tools that work for you, whether it's making a list, and get to it, whatever your productivity tool is. Let's put multitasking aside and then enjoy our work and our business lives. Business lives, our whole, our I believe our family lives will be the better for it as well. So we just want to thank you all for jumping in here and on this conversation, for everybody in the clubhouse jumping in on the conversation. Why not multitask? And you can watch a replay of this over on our YouTube channel at bizchicks.tv or bizchicks TV, where it'll be over there, and or on Facebook and Periscope or wherever we are on the web. Terry, anything else? Anybody else got some final comments about the conversation?
I want to remind everybody that today is First Monday,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
we will be here this afternoon at 4
Yes.
Pacific time. We'd love for you to come in and join the conversation and tell us a little bit about what it is you do, and let us be supportive.
Right. So what we will do is you will have an opportunity in Clubhouse and on bizchicks.live to tell us about your company, your business, your ministry, whatever it is that you do, so other people can learn about you. We may have somebody come in and give us a little pep talk for a few minutes, but every first Monday we do this because we need to know who's out there that can help us. And that's what we do. We are here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle and to help you build a profitable business that's fun to run. And we cannot do it by ourselves. We need the help of each and every one of you in this room. And we want to say thank you for taking your time on this Monday to tune in with us. And we'll be back tomorrow with Terry Johnson online all the way from New York City. She'll be talking to us about digital marketing and social media. Wednesday, we'll be talking with Coach Karen on Profits in Daily. And Thursday, it's all about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And then Friday, we talk tech in English, and we do Fridays and Mondays over in the clubhouse. So we just want to say thank you. Let's see, somebody is raising their hand. Hi, Akbar. We're just about to close out, but we want to say thank you for tuning in and welcome to Clubhouse. We're talking about multitasking and why not to do it. So with that, we want to say thank you. Looking forward to talking to everyone again.
And guys, we love you. And Cecilia's here, so we just want to give a shout out to Cecilia,
Hey,
Mark,
Cecilia.
Brenna. We got a number of people over here on the live stream, and so we just thank you. We hope you enjoy the replay. Other than that, we'll see you today at 4 Pacific time for First Mondays. And again, remember to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.